So I understand that pretty much everyone by this point has seen the movie, or like most people on YouTube have reviewed the movie. It's over by now. But I wanted to see this, but just didn't get a chance to see it when it came out. And now that I have seen it, I kind of do want to talk about it because I was looking forward to it. In all honesty, do not know anything about the source material. I think there's a manga or whatever, however it's pronounced, in an anime series. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I've heard. If you know more about this than me, then feel free to comment and inform me. But I am coming into this world very new, and I was very excited to watch this movie just because the trailers and everything were done really well. And it's not such a bad thing to watch more female led movies. And seeing as I reviewed Captain Marvel, I thought it might be somewhat relevant to review this, even though it's like 5 weeks late. I still want to review it because not just for the views. I mean, views are good, but I actually have some things to say on this movie. Because I really liked it, okay? As I said, coming into this world new, don't know that much about it. One thing I want to say really quickly right off the bat, the action was fucking awesome. It's the first thing that I noticed. I'm like, damn, this is really good. One thing I've noticed is that whenever James Cameron is involved in some way, whenever he's directing or even just producing, the action is always good. Go back to some of his oldest movies, the action scenes and the action set pieces, everything is still good. It still holds up. Terminator 2 is probably the best example. This guy knows how to do action. Even if his movie might not be that good, whichever movie you could name, it's the action, if it's an action movie, still, I would argue, is on par with any other action movie. Anyway, just wanted to say that I've noticed his action movies are almost always good. Because the action is good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not necessarily the movie as a whole is good, but the action is always on par. Now, there are some things that I actually want to talk about that do fall under spoiler territory. So before I get into those things, I want to say that not all of this movie worked for me, okay? There's a lot of side stories that pan out, okay? A few. And it wasn't all interesting. I mean, what can I say? This is not a great movie, like a great movie, but I actually really enjoyed it for reasons that I'll get into soon. But the action being one of them, which is one reason why I love this movie. But it wasn't all great, okay? It didn't always entertain me. It didn't always keep me locked in, and I think that's something that the sequel could do better. It could be more focused, I guess. So this is where I kind of get into spoilers because of some things that happen. So if you're like me and you still at this point haven't watched the movie, or if you're similar to me and you still haven't watched the movie, don't listen to the spoilers. But if you have, then of course, continue. But the reason why I'm putting spoilers in this review is because it's like 5 weeks late, this review. Anyway, so spoilers. No, if you haven't seen it, don't watch the rest of my review. Okay, moving on. The Alita's love interest was really boring, and I think kind of hindered the movie because it tries at every attempt to get me invested, and I just don't give a shit. I really don't care about this guy. Like, how many what's the word I'm looking for? How many times are we going to see in movies, whether it be a female love interest or a male love interest, how many times do we have to watch these love interests just be boring and bland and really like it's the same thing over and over again? So I don't know. It's just they kill him off, and this is where the spoiler part comes into it. They kill him off, okay, and that's motivation for Alita, for the next movie to go against the big bad. And she's fucking losing her shit, crying and stuff. And I don't know, I just was not that invested in it. Anyway, I apologize for that quick swipe cut. The battery was about to die. What was I saying? So yeah, don't like the love interest. I'm kind of glad that he's dead. Okay, so I don't have to deal with their fake as shit romance. But Ed Norton as the main villain, Nova, the big bad, hopefully for the second one. That surprised me. I'm glad to see Ed Norton again because I haven't seen him in a while since like Birdman. So I like Ed Norton as an actor. And I don't know. I was like, hey, that's Ed Norton. Cool. Okay. So I'm interested in seeing like his bad guy. Anyway, I just wanted to quickly throw that in there. Let's get into Alita. I fucking loved her. I really, really loved Alita. She was charismatic. She was actually very similar to Wonder Woman, because she's, like, you know how in Wonder Woman she's like, oh man, ice cream, you should be so proud. In this one, it's chocolate, and like Wonder Woman goes up to a baby and she's like, oh, a baby, and like Alita does that with a dog. So I know I'm noticing some similarities between the two. And I would say Wonder Woman is a better female-led movie to take inspiration from. Anyway, I really liked Alita. I liked, not just because she was charismatic and happy and hopeful and all that or whatever, but because I was genuinely interested in her backstory and everything. Like, this world is very well lived in, I'll say. There's a lot to learn, okay? Like, there's this war or whatever. So I'm see how I'm saying this? I'm very much the outsider when it comes to this whole world. So I really like the backstory and everything. I think the fact that she came from the enemy side and is now on our side, I guess you could say, that she comes from the enemy side, being Mars basically, and now she's on our side, I think, being Earth. So I found that interesting. Like, what could they do with that in the sequel? Her coming from the enemy side, now living on Earth as the last one of her people or whatever. And my question is will she actually try to tear down Earth's infrastructures, or will she just fight to stop the big bad? I don't know. That's interesting. I'd like to see what they could do with that. Because that really interested. That's one thing I'm going to go into the sequel expecting to see something about. But one thing I just really quickly want to address before I end off this video, because I'm getting close to the end. I don't understand. Actually, first of all, before I get into that point, one thing I want to say is that the one thing that I really appreciated with this movie and how it was promoted is I like the fact that they didn't overblow with as some great female-led movie just for females and not for anyone else, and screw white men or screw men or whatever. You know what I'm getting at? I kind of touched on it in my Captain Marvel review, right? I like the fact that they didn't just make this all about femininity. I liked that it was a movie for everyone, and that's what it is. That's what I liked, okay? That's what any good female-led movie should do, okay? Take note, Brie Larson. Anyway, getting away from that controversy onto something else. There's a different kind of controversy specifically just with this movie. How can she be a icon to little girls if she's not actually biologically female? If she's a cyborg or whatever, which she is. And like I don't know, this woman and I bring this up because there was this woman walking out with her boyfriend behind me, and she was saying this stuff. I thought this was just something that was afflicting, left-wingers in America. But no, it's happening, here too. People, I don't know, just a lot of females don't like the idea of Alita because she's not physically female. And I don't get that for two reasons. One, for example, most women would love Captain Marvel or Rey or whatever, and the reason why I don't understand them for not at least accepting or loving Alita is because neither of these three examples are real people. Like Rey as as a Jedi, not a real thing, not a real person, right? Captain Marvel is a superhero, not a real person. So I don't understand how like they can be accepted into pop culture or politics or whatever, but Alita can't be. Also, another argument that I would push as to, me defending Alita and why I love her is that if a man can transition, have a sex change and become a woman, they are technically considered a woman. There's nothing wrong with that. They're a woman, okay? So why can't a cyborg who appears to be a woman be accepted as a woman? I don't get it. As feminine. She's feminine. Why can't she be icon to little girls? Anyway, that's a different type of controversy. I don't like getting into controversy, but I just wanted to give my 2 cents on that because I am actually, as you can see, trying to defend this character because I honestly think Alita as a character and the action were the two best parts in this movie. Without a doubt. And what the fuck? Moving on. I'm excited. I'm excited with what they can do with the sequel. Because I'm definitely invested in Alita, and I think a lot of that has to do with the actress. Don't know her name. First I've seen of her, so I'm going to learn her name, soon. But I really liked Alita because of the actress who did a really damn good job. All of her backstory, all of that, her characteristics, all of that. I liked her. The action was good, and she's a fucking badass. If you didn't know. Anyway, whoa, this review's gotten a little long. Anyway, I didn't expect it to go this long. Good movie. Second one can be better, but as the first one in a possible series, this is pretty damn good, but not the greatest movie out there. That's what I'd say. Anyway, that's my review for Alita. Sorry that it was so late. What can you do? Anyway, hopefully you liked this video and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video.